My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't spite you for your lack of kind. And she stepped away from me, and this she did say, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. She stepped away from me, and she moved through the fair, and fondly I watched her go here and go there, and she went her way homeward with one star away, as the swan in the evening moved over the lake.
Get out of my way.
You're always so angry.
Caledonia, get back here.
Hello there. I'm assuming you can see me and hear me. I don't know. You probably can. Maybe you can, maybe you can. I can see myself on that screen right there. And I seem to be alright. I don't know, I can't hear myself, so I never know if I can be heard or not. And my eyes are terrible tonight. I've actually increased the screen to 150% just so I can try and see some of the chat, but I'm having problems. But there you go. I think Jim said yes we can, which means we can see me and hear me. Right, okay. So when I was out earlier on today doing a wee bit of filming, and I'm going to show you some of that, the filming that I did today, I'm just in the very, very beginnings of putting a video together, but I'm going to show you it. But while I was out today, and it was only about maybe 2 o'clock this afternoon or something like that, I was thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to talk about tonight? I've got no plan, I've got no idea. I just haven't had time, because there's been a lot of stuff going on this week which in the future may become apparent, but I haven't had time to do any planning. But I was all out for about an hour because it was really windy, and by the time I had come back in, I'm just going to change this screen to my agenda. By the time I came back in, I had 8 agenda points in my head. So I thought, right, I've got enough for a live stream tonight. I don't need to cancel it. I've got enough to be getting on with here. And I'm feeling absolutely terrible today. But I have a wee dram here, which makes me feel a lot better, okay? So, about this. If we get any, how shall we say, colourful comments in the live stream chat, or anything a bit racy, Mark Sullivan, my trusted mod, is here to take care of that for me, because I probably wouldn't even be able to see it, and he'll take care of that. And you never know what might come up in the chat, because it seems to be there's quite a few more people coming in. I expect that's only to be expected. As the channel grows a wee bit, more people will come into live chats. I suppose it's still a tiny amount. I'm just a wee channel, but you know, it's growing, it's growing. Anyway, tonight's topic, I thought it was quite a good idea last week to have a wee topic for each week rather than just me waffling on, which is pretty much what I'm doing anyway. So I thought tonight's topic, while I was out and about, I have been mulling over the comments that I've been getting over the past few weeks. Since the channel started to get a bit bigger, the percentage, the number of comments that I'm getting every day is going through the roof. and it's becoming unmanageable at the moment. I used to answer every single comment, and I still try to do as much as I can, but it's getting to the point now where I'm getting 5, sometimes 600, 700 comments a day, and it's very, very it's not, it wouldn't be hard to answer those if I had nothing else to do, but I've got a lot of other things to do. So it's getting to the point now where some of my answers are a wee bit short, and some I read but I don't even answer, because I think, well, it's going to take me about 3 minutes to work out an answer and then type it all in, so I don't. I just skip some. I apologise about that, but it's just one of those things, you know. I said way back at the beginning, when I had just like 1,000 subscribers, a few of the subscribers here who have been with me since then did say to me, "Oh, and now that you've got over 1,000 subscribers, are you going to be not answering the comments, and are you just going to be skipping us all by?" And I said, "No, I'd never do that. I'll always answer every single comment." But it's now getting to the point where I just can't. I just don't have the time. I'd have to spend all day in front of the screen answering comments, which is it's a double-edged sword. It's good that the channel's growing a wee bit, but bad that I now probably can't answer every single comment. And as the comments of this is not on my agenda, by the way. This is just what is it? What do they call it? A chain of thought, wall of thought. Anyway, as the comments are increasing, the number of emails that I'm getting every day, the number of Facebook messages and Instagram messages I'm getting are going up as well. I'm also getting about 30 to 40 friend requests on Facebook every day, and I don't accept every one. So if you've been accepted enough as a Facebook friend, you're in the minority, because I can't accept everyone. It would become unmanageable. So anyway, why was I saying that? Why was I saying? It's probably because I'm going to be apologising later on for more stuff. Anyway, so I thought it would be good to start having a topic each week about whatever the live stream is. And I thought it was quite interesting when I was out and about the day after, having mulled over all of the comments I've been getting and all the moans and complaints, and some quite bad ones. And I'm going to show you some of the slightly nastier comments that I get on a regular basis. That's point 6 on the agenda, to show you some of the comments that I get. And I'm going to show you some other background stuff, some other stuff that goes on behind the scenes that I don't think other YouTubers often show you. I'm going to show you some stuff. So I thought, what a good topic would be, why do we fly drones? Why is it that we fly drones? Now, a few of you have been saying in the comments before the live stream started, you've been giving us your reasons why you fly drones. In fact, I'll just highlight a few of them just now. I think Paul was the very first one, so let me see if I can bring his up. Paul said that since he was a child, he always wanted to fly like Superman. Paul, who didn't? We all did. And a drone is a little way there. So it absolutely is. It's even closer to Superman if you have an Avata or an FPV, whether it be the DJI FPV or whether it just be an FPV drone, you're wearing goggles, even closer to being like Superman, Paul. Don't know if you have an FPV type drone, but if you're ever in my neck of the woods, give me a shout and you can have a shot of mine, because it's great fun. So that was Paul's reason for flying drones. Caroline said, smiley face. Oh, it's not a great big smiley face tonight, Caroline. You okay? Is everything all right there? It's just a wee kind of slight smile, but hi, how you doing anyway? Doogie's drone. Doogie, when I saw your message coming up before the live stream started, or at least your thumb coming up, and thanks for that wee thumbs up. And I hope you've clicked the thumbs up on the live stream too. I went and I checked out your channel, and I was wanting to comment on a couple of your videos because I quite enjoyed them, but you've turned the comments off, so I can't leave a comment on any of your videos. So you've probably got a reason for turning that off. That's fair enough. But if you turned it on, I could leave a nice wee comment. Anyway, right, so John says, there's great views like Loughborough Fair, and I think I pronounced that correctly because I lived in Englandshire for quite a while. Right, Aussie in 1957 says, because a drone is the world's tallest tripod. Absolutely is. The pictures and the video you can get using a drone can't get anywhere else. So these are all reasons why. And Jim, I wasn't going to put your reason up, but I will. But I'm not going to say the words out loud because they make me go whoop like that. So here's what Jim said. Did anyone else go whoop like that? Right, Jim, that's half of there. Right, Aussie's got a private pilot's licence, also want to fly helicopters. Too costly. Mini 2 does the same. You can't get inside the Mini 2. Oh, you can if you get a drone mask. And more about that on the 17th of November. Right, okay, a few more of these comments and I'll get back to my my agenda here. Gerald McGlinchey, sorry Gerard, I called you Gerald. Gerard McGlinchey, hello, how are you doing there? Right, Cyril, hello, how you doing? How am I doing? Alright, I've not had a great week, to be honest with you, Cyril, and my eyes are absolutely terrible. I was at the doctor, was it yesterday? Friday, I think it was at the doctor, to give a second lot of blood tests, because the first lot showed up that I could possibly be diabetic. So I've given a second load of blood tests that I had to fast for, and when I told them about my eyes, they said, oh, right, get to the optician as well. So I've got to go to the optician as well. But as I said earlier on, I've increased the size of the screen to 150%, so I can just about see the comments there on that screen there. And I can see me on that screen, and I can see my agenda on that screen, but, you know, the eyes are all blurry. But so, thanks, Cyril, I'm okay, and I hope you're okay too. Right, Jim, you've had the things up. Right, who's this? Sheffler Outdoors, my God, Sheffler Outdoors, good evening all, hope you're well. Aye, I hope everybody's better than me. And there goes the chat bouncing about again, so there's been a lot of chat, but I went back to the beginning so that I could say hello to a few people. Right, Ozzy says, I press like, did you? Right, the wee likey thing. 58 people in, I don't know how many likes we've got, I can't tell, I can't see from here, maybe I can if I bring this screen up. How many likes? 28 likes, right, 58 people in, 28 likes, that doesn't quite add up to me, so if you haven't hit that thumbs up, go on and hit it. I don't often do that, but as I have said, people tell me to self-promote a bit more, so please hit the thumbs up if you're not human. And if you're human, you can do it as well. Right, Lynn, hello. Lynn, I don't think I've said hello to you for a couple of weeks. So, hello, Lynn, how are you doing? Right, Graham Lindsay, feeling a bit better. I'm feeling a lot better inside my head. Right, Graham? No feeling so hot on my body, but I'm getting old, The body gets old and doesn't feel so good. But inside my head, I'm feeling pretty good. And the wee dram helps, always helps to just perk you up a wee bit. As long as you don't take too much, then it perks you up right over the edge. Right, okay. So there's the Stream Elements bot running. Stream Elements bot running. Okay, there's Mark. Hello, Mark. He is our my trusted moderator for tonight. You can tell that by the wee blue spanner next to his name. So if anybody swears and starts calling me all sorts of things, which I'm going to be showing you some of the comments that I get, Mark will just do whatever it is that Mark does. I've got no idea, but he'll do it. Right, Graham's watching me on TV. I've got on a tablet to comment, and there is a delay in the video. I have no idea about that. I just talk to the camera, and it comes up when it comes up. I've got no idea. Benjamin, is that Rate or Rout? Rate, Benjamin Rate. Hope I pronounced your surname right there, Benjamin. Just in time. Oh, you've got plenty of time. I mean, it's 6 minutes past, and I haven't even really got into my first agenda. I'll need to get to it soon. Right? So, Jim, Paul, aye, right, Gaz, there you go. Evening to Gaz. There's Stevie Elder. Hello, nice saltire there. You get that saltire to put in your comments if you're a member of the channel, along with other emojis that other people can't get. If you want to join the channel, it's about £2 or something a month, and you get background videos and things that don't go on the screen, and you get a wee saltire emoji plus other emojis and things. Right, self-promotion. Mickey Moo, hello to you. The Drone Bully, evening to you. Drone Shots, hello Drone Shots. Right, I'll do a few more hellos before it, because I need to move on, because we're getting close to 1:15 now. DWUAVeep, right, howdy Rob, hi, how you doing? Right, Derek, hello there Derek. We have had fog here in Yorkshire all day. It's not been foggy here, Derek, but it's been extremely windy, and I'll show you a wee video when I was out today, and I went out to fly and I couldn't actually fly because it was so windy, but I did get some footage anyway, and I'll show you in a minute. It's item number 4 on the agenda, and I haven't even got past 1 yet because I'm too busy saying hellos. Logan, Scotland, there you go. Right, nice wee comments. I've been having comments back and forth with you, Logan. That's been quite nice. Love your name as well, Logan and Scotland. Both great names. Caroline says something to Derek. I was hoping to fly also today. As you know, Yorkshire weather had other ideas. Yeah, it's been fine up here. I mean, foggy can sometimes be quite nice, but then again, I think you have to get above it for it to be nice. Simply Scotland, another. Are you any relation to Logan? Are you like Logan's brother or sister or uncle or auntie? Good evening, folks. Good evening to you, Scotland. Simply Scotland. Right, there's Kim, discovering history, the closest thing to bird's eye view. Aye, that's another great reason. Right, Finger Flip says, cracking stuff, Robert. Thanks for the awesome content. Finger Flip, thanks very much. It's a new name to me, Finger Flip. I think you may only have recently discovered the channel, so I hope you enjoy it and I hope you stick around for some more. Right, there's Willie Pie. Hello, Dawn. How are you doing? Right, there you go. So I think that's us at the end of the chat there. Right, now the topic for tonight was why do we fly drones? And I'm going to give you, this is probably going to be a good 5-minute ramble, so if anyone wants to go and make a cup of coffee or something while I'm rambling, please go ahead. But I'm going to give you the background on why I became a drone hobbyist, drone flyer, drone pilot, dronist, dronulist, whatever the hell you call us. And I'll tell you why, right? It's going to be 5 minutes because I do talk on and on and on and on, my wife says. So almost 3 years ago, I worked full time, 9 to 5, full, 5 days a week in my normal job. And I still am a musician, and I played in 3 different bands. I played in a country band, I played in a duo we did the pubs and clubs, and I played in a wedding band that did wedding things and engagements and bar mitzvahs and all that kind of carry on. And all of my spare time was taken up, when I wasn't working, all of my spare time was taken up with either the band, because I had to prepare set lists, practice, go to rehearsals with the bands, contact agents, contact venues, go to the gigs, invest in new equipment, keep the equipment maintained. It took up my entire spare time between that and my family. Obviously, I had to fit my family into that too. So my entire spare time was taken up, and I had no spare time free at all to just sit about and do nothing. And then COVID came along, right, and suddenly we found ourselves in the position where, I found myself in the position where the music was suddenly at an end, a complete end. Couldn't rehearse, I could practice in the house, but no point in producing new set lists or new songs because there was nowhere to gig. No point phoning agents or contacting venues. It was all finished, right? So you might think, well, plenty of time then to divert some of that spare time to your family. No, because you weren't allowed to meet up with any family, and you were only allowed, when they released us a little bit, to travel within 5 miles of your area. Now, I live away out in the sticks, 25 miles away from my family, from my daughter and my grandkids and my mother and father. So it was just basically me and my wife stuck in the house. Close like that, permanently. So I had all this spare time and nothing to do, and I thought, I'll buy myself a wee drone, because I used to fly gliders when I was in the army, and I really enjoyed that, and I always fancied getting an RC helicopter and flying that, but I never get around to it because I had no spare time. But I thought, I'll go and get myself a drone, and because I'm allowed to go 5 miles out with my house, I can go out to some areas and fly the drone. And then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll video myself with it when I get this drone. I'll video myself learning how to use it, and just keep a sort of a vlog. And then I decided, I'll create a YouTube channel. People do that kind of thing, I'll create a YouTube channel and I'll post up these vlogs of me trying to learn what I'm doing. And that was it. I became a drone hobbyist, and that's why I get into drones. That's why I fly drones. But the bigger question is, and this is what I was thinking about today, and this is why I created this topic, is why do we fly drones? Do we fly drones because we enjoy flying drones around, and we want to see things from a different perspective? Lochs, hills, castles, hussies, streets, whatever, from a different perspective that we could never see before. That's the reason I do it now, and I expect or suspect, don't know which the correct word is, that's why most of you do it too. But it seems to me that there are a gang of people who want to fly drones for the simple reason of saying, this is how you fly a drone within the regulations. And this is, I'm going out to fly my drone today to prove that I can fly just at 300 feet until I can see the drone and no more, and round and round and round about, and that's what you do. And they seem to be going out to fly drones just to prove that you have to stay within the regulations to fly a drone, and that kind of, it doesn't make much sense to me. I don't understand the mentality of that. Flying a drone should be about the freedom you have, going out and seeing things that you'd never get to see, and not restricting yourself and worrying about, oh, hold on a minute, I think I can't see that anymore, and I'd better stop, I better come back, so I'm just within my garden, I'll just fly around my garden. That's not what it's all about. Anyway, I'm starting to get a wee bit naughty here and getting a bit close to the sort of the regs. Anyway, I'm going to move on for this point, but the last thing I want to say is about that is, here's the thing. I think there are different categories of YouTube channels related to drones, okay? And I'm going to itemise some of them here. And if there are other categories of drone channels on YouTube that I don't mention here that you know, stick them in the chat, and then stick them in the comments later on. I always read through the chat the next day. Tomorrow I'll be reading through the chat, and that's quite good. I can get some ideas for future things to say. So if you can think of any other categories of YouTube channels relating to drones that I'm not going to mention here, then let me know. But I think there are channels where you have people explaining what the regulations are and how it's lawful to fly your drone and what you should and shouldn't do. An example of that may be Geeks Vanna, who's very well versed on the regulations and has constant contact with the police and the CAA and other official bodies, and he imparts that information to you. So that's one category of channel. I seem to be a bit delayed here. Am I being off a delayed? I think I'm all right. I'm actually about half a second behind, which has never happened to me before. Oh, Don, let me get rid of your wee thing. You said hello ages ago. Right, so that's one category, and there are other people who do this. I would imagine there are lots of people who tell you about the laws and the regulations and the rules and all that. Geeks Fan is the only one that I know off the top of my head, right? There are other YouTube channels relating to drones who will give you information like the best way to get cinematic footage, different methods of flying to make your flying smoother and to make you to help you to produce better values. It's produce better quality videos, and an example of this might be DM Productions. Darren produces videos. He produces a lot of videos, but produces a lot of content like that show you different methods you can use to make your footage better. There are other channels that may keep you up to date on the firmware and the new things that come along with the DJI Fly app or the actual drone itself. And an example of that might be Gavin HR or Nobby Green. They do that on a regular basis. Another example of a channel, and this is the category I think I kind of fit into, is a channel where you've got people who want to go out and see what the drone can do, test its, push the envelope, test the capabilities of the drone, take it to the limits and beyond sometimes, and see what they can and can't do. An example of this might be Ken Heron. Ken Heron's channel does this, and I think I fall into that category as well. I'm excited to find out what the drone can do. Can it do this? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go and try it. And also,
Tickety boo.
Oh, I don't know. Tickety boo just came out the speaker there for some reason. Don't know why that happened. And also, I like to show off my country, show off the ruins of castles and houses and buildings and fun fairs that are derelict now, and rivers and lochs and glens and hills and mountains and all of that. And I think that's quite nice too. So that's the type of category I think I fit. And why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because the comments that I've been getting, the hate-filled comments I've been getting, that people just want to tell me how I'm breaking all of the CAA regulations, how I'm breaking the law, how I'm a total dick because I do this and I do that. Please, if you want a channel that gives you the regulation stuff, go to Geeks Vanna. You'll get it there. You'll get what you want there, right? If you're commenting and saying you don't know how to fly your drone properly, you need to turn it like this, smooth on that to get better footage, your footage is rubbish, go to DM Productions and that's the channel for you, right? If you want to find out what your drone can do and you want to see a guy learning as he goes, making all the mistakes and seeing the consequences of these mistakes and seeing how I get around these mistakes or how I deal with them, then this is the channel for you. That's what I am. I'm not claiming to be the greatest drone pilot in the world. I'm not claiming to be the most knowledgeable about the about the regulations. I'm not claiming to be anything. I'm just a simple guy who hasn't a clue what he's doing and is trying to learn as he's doing it. Okay, right. Enough of that. That was a good 10 minutes. It was only supposed to be about 2, right? So before I get to my next agenda point, which is actually 4, because I've done 3 of the points there. I'm going to have a quick look through some of the comments to see if anything was said about what I was saying there, right? Okay, so I'll have a quick look. Oh my God, there's been thousands and thousands of comments, right? I'll not go all the way back. Right, what's that? John says, you only have under a month to grow your beard ready for Christmas, Bill. Oh, I had to get into my Santa thing. I don't think I'll be doing Santa this year, John. I'm not really feeling up to it. I mean, I couldn't have Wayne's bouncing on my knee for 3 hours. It would kill me. You know, I think I'd have a heart attack. So I don't think I'll be doing it. Right, Graham says, apart from the VLOS issues, does flying in fog bad for our drones? Graham, I haven't flown in fog before because you don't get a lot of fog around here. You get a bit of early morning mist, ground mist, but you don't get a lot of fog here. But I have flown in snow, I've flown in rain, I've flown in hail, I've flown in extreme winds, and my drones are all still going. Well, you've seen all the crashes I've had and you've seen all the problems I've had, but most of that's pilot error. As you know, it's not really weather conditions. So as far as I'm concerned, unless it's extreme weather, you're going to be all right. Now, I didn't fly today because the wind was extremely high, and it wasn't for fear of anything happening to the drone, although that's what I say in the video. It was because the type of video that I intended to make really had to have a steady drone that was at 3 different points in the video. For 3 lens changes, it had to be in the exact same position without moving. And with the winds today, I wouldn't have got the same footage in each of the parts of filming. So that's why she didn't take off today. But I'm going to show you that video. It's not finished yet. I only started editing it today when I came in just for about an hour. I did I quickly threw the stuff together so that I can spend next week working on it. And I'm going to show you it. I'm going to show you it soon, right? Right, so there's Border Drone Seekers. Good evening, Robert. Evening to you. Brian, hello, how are you doing? I was looking at a video earlier of somebody in Berwick flying about Doogie's drones, I think it was. Doogie's drones. Aye, right. Sorry, I've already clicked on that one. Right, where am I going? Richard Buchan, Skyrunner, says hello to everyone. Sorry, a bit late. It's all right, Richard. You haven't missed anything as usual. Just me waffling on and on and on. Right. At the golf club, what you found the 19th? I've got the 19th tee here, Rumi Caroline. That is the 19th tee I've got right here. Okay, a few more. 58 watching, 28 likes. How we doing now? 81 watching, and how many likes? 42 likes, 81 people watch, so only half of you have clicked that thumbs up button. Come on. If it's that uninteresting, why are you still here? You know, if it's interesting enough to still be here, click the thumbs up button. Right. The drone bully asks, are you getting a DJI Mavic 3 Classic, Robert? No, I'm not. First of all, a lot of reasons. I can't afford it. Second of all, I'm very, very happy with my Mini 2, my Mini 3 and my DJI FPV. More than happy with them. And third of all, did I just say third of all? Second of all, and for another reason, I was watching the Geeks Vanna live stream last night, and he was saying how there are problems at the end of the year, it'll be 1st of January 2023, regarding the Mavic 3 Classic that now apparently have the C the C certification on it, which is going to cause some real problems and restrict you in where you can fly. So no, I'm definitely not getting it. For anyone that has, I'm sorry that you might be facing some problems. But if someone wants to buy one for me and send it to me, I'll take it. Thank you very much. Right. Under Article 1316, I think that's about flying at clubs, and I'm not really interested in doing that. I could be wrong. Okay. Right, Baby Charlie Brown. Joe, good to see you. Was thinking I need to visit you in Berlin after that Polish video. Don't really want to talk too much about the Polish video, to be honest with you, Joe, because I have banged on out a bit. I've made 2 videos over the same incident. I've banged on about it a little bit. Suffice to say that I've heard nothing else, and I'll move on from there. Brig Scott, is that Brig Scott? Brig Scott says, I fly to escape from life and it's fun as hell. Nothing wrong with that. Perfectly valid reason. When you're up in the air, then you're flying about and you can see your screen. Unless you're one of these velos people who insist that you must watch the drone. The joy is watching the footage and watching where you're flying. If you're doing that and you're flying over some really nice places, it's a good wee escape. So, good on you. Right, let's see. I think we're about there. Pints World says, evening, off work this week so I can join you. Hello there, Pints World. Yeah, you do a night shift normally, so you're normally at work, aren't you? Right, moving on here a wee bit. Right, I don't want to spend too much time because we're nearly half past and I've still got a few things I want to show you here. Give us a song, Robert. I can't. Right, I've got my guitar here, right, and I have quite a few times thought I'll start off the live stream by a wee song. But the problem is that unless it's a song I've written myself, and you won't be interested in the stuff that I've written, if it's a cover song, then I'll get copyright claimed and I won't make it the small amount of money that I make from the live stream. It's a tiny amount that I make anyway, but I won't make anything at all because I'll be copyright claimed. So no, I'm not giving you a song. I may do one of my own pen songs in the future, but people don't really like self-penned songs for artists that aren't known, and I'm an artist that isn't known. Right. Drone flying is a great way to de-stress. Couldn't agree more. It absolutely is. Different perspective, says Jim. Yep, it is. Don says that it's a flying camera. That's what it is. That's all a drone is, Don, is a flying camera. Once you put goggles on and you're using possibly an FPV drone, it's something different then. It's an experience. You're actually having an experience that you may pay a lot more to get if you had to go and take flying lessons or helicopter lessons or whatever like that. So, but a normal drone is just a flying camera. Carol Bism says, I fly drones because I run wedding car company and thought it'd be a good idea to get some extra pics from above. The reality is very different. My wife's niece was married a few months back and we went to the wedding. It was actually at Turnberry Hotel, the wedding, and it was fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful place. And the company that she hired to do our wedding video and the pictures and that, they brought drones with them as well. I think it was a Mavic Pro, it was a big one, Mavic Pro I think it was, and they get some fantastic footage as well. So there is what for it, but I think you can't just do that as the one thing. You have to be part of a production, wedding photographic video production thing to do that. Anyway, Jason said that Jason flies to escape the pressures of daily life, not to bother with photography or taking videos. That's absolutely fine. If you have either a drone mask, if you've got a Mini 2 or an Air 2S, or if you have a DJI FPV or a Navata or it's another DJI, the escape there is huge compared to just flying a normal drone like a Mini 3. Right. DWUA Veep says, Airwolf as a kid loved aerial photography and now with a Mac Pro I'm able to make more vids from the channel. Aye, right, well, I'll have a wee look at your channel in a wee while, DWUA Veep, and if your comments turned on, I'll leave a comment on some of your videos. Wes Conscious, hope you're well. Aye, thanks Wes, I'm alright. Oh, people are bored listening to how I'm no alright, but so I'm alright. Kazi Chaos, my drone is a peeping Tom. Listen, the police are about here would have you think that every drone pilot is a peeping Tom. I don't believe you're a peeping Tom. But send me some video of what you've peeped, please. Paul Taylor says, I hate all the restrictions and rules. I know what I'm doing, but sadly some don't, hence why we have these rules. Aye, I know, but, come on. It's a hobby. Do we really want our hobby to be so suffocated by rules that we can't enjoy the hobby anymore, really? You brought me down now, Paul. Come on. Right. Idle, spectacular sunsets recently. Beautiful maple trees here in Idle. Okay. Right. Tanya Gale says, flying safely is always a good idea. I agree it is, Tanya. Flying safely is always a good idea. But you can fly... You can fly in a manner that's going to allow you to really enjoy the freedom and the relaxation of it, where you may not necessarily be sticking to the absolute letter of the regulations and still be safe. You know what I mean? You've got to use your common sense, and you've got to do a risk assessment. And if there's no risk involved in you bending the rules a wee bit, or at least pushing that envelope, I don't really see what the problem is with that. Your mileage may vary, and that's fine. Okay. Mickey Moo, good point here. Auditors have hijacked our hobby. I've been watching some of the auditor videos recently, and the police are certainly kicking back. And I think that's maybe why I had a visit for the police, because they thought, right, we need to stamp down on these auditors, thinking I was an auditor for some reason. I'm going to be coming on to touching on this briefly as well when I show some of the comments, the trolling comments I've had later on. But yeah, I think the police are kicking back, and it sounds to me like there is going to be new regulations where they are going to bring in an act which makes certain areas like police stations, fire stations, railway stations, hospitals, schools, other places like that, restricted airspace without actually having there's no restriction here. They will make those automatically restricted airspaces that you can't fly over. And I think that's down to the auditors. I think the auditors have probably brought that on. It's been coming. I've seen it. I've seen white papers being passed and spoken about in Parliament about it. And from the auditor videos and the police's reactions to them recently, I am pretty certain that this is coming. There are going to be restrictions over pretty much any public building, probably libraries as well. And I think when that happens, there will be an avenue for private companies like warehouses and Amazon and whatnot to then apply for a restricted zone, and there'll probably be a fee attached to it, which is, the government can put some kind of fee on it, and these companies will buy that restricted zone, which will completely stop the auditors from flying anywhere. They wouldn't be able to do anything at all. And the problem is that we may have a knock-on effectiveness. I won't personally be affected because, as you know, all my flying is done out in the middle of nowhere. But I'm sorry to say that I think anyone who flies in more urban environments and more built-up areas you're probably going to find yourself restricted very, very soon, and you can thank the auditors for that. The only good thing that will come out of it is we'll not have any more auditing channels because they won't have anything to film. Unless they just stop flying their drones and they go back to what they did before they discovered drones, and they just turned up with cameras and annoyed people through the gates and the fences. Anyway, let's move. So there you go, Ari's Mickey Moo Productions. There you go. There's an answer to your wee point. Right, what's the time? 25 to. I better move on. Right, sorry if I'm missing anybody's comments here. I'm going to move on to my next point, which is I want to show you an example of the video that I filmed today. Right, I went out and did a bit of footage today, and I didn't fly the drone, right, but it's drone footage, and it's for a video that I'm making, and I'll be working on it this week. I've got 3 videos that I'm working on this week, and this is going to be one of them. So I've just basically put it together, and I haven't done anything. But I don't just want to show you the video. What I want to do is I want to show you the Final Cut Pro layout and how I've put it into that, and how I won't go through and explain how I do my editing, but I'll show that on the screen so that you get an idea of my editing process, at least the start of it. So enough talk. Let me drop this down, and it's a wee 5-minute video I've got at the moment. I'll be editing that down or up, I don't know. I'll be editing it one way or the other, so it probably won't last 5 minutes and 8 seconds when it's finished. But have a look at this, right? So let me bring it down. Today I'm having a look at the Freewell wide angle and anamorphic lens ND5 pack, which has just come out fairly recently, and it's what I think is going to be a terrific addition to Freewell's lenses and filter set. And inside this pack you get quite a lot of good things. First of all, the two lenses that you get an anamorphic lens and you get a wide angle lens in the pack. You also get 5 filters. The filters that you get to use with these lenses are this ND16, ND32, ND64, ND128 and an ND256. Now I won't be looking at the filters today, I'll only be looking at the anamorphic and the wide angle lens and comparing those with the standard lens that comes with the DJI Mini 3. I'll also be looking at the weight to see, does using these lenses take the weight above 250 grams. Now it's far too windy to take Caledonia, my DJI Mini 3 up today because she just got blown away. But I have her sitting in a position where she can have the exact same position for each of the lenses. In fact, wait, I'll show you exactly where she's sitting right now. She's sitting right, can we see her? She's sitting right there. And she's going to be looking at the red barn that's just ahead there, and she's going to be maintaining that position for all of the tests, the normal lens, the wide angle lens and the anamorphic lens, so you'll get a good comparison with the views that each of these lenses can give you. In the next video I'll then start to add the filters and check the weights and see what difference they make. But for the moment, the wide angle lens, the normal lens and the anamorphic lens. So first of all, let's start off with the standard lens that comes with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So here's a view straight from the DJI Mini 3 camera with no wide angle lens, no anamorphic lens, just the lens that comes as standard. And the red barn just ahead is directly in the centre of the screen. So have a look at the very edges of the screen and see just how far you can see with a normal view. I'm going to switch over now to the wide angle lens and you'll be able to see the difference. So I've now fitted the DJI Mini 3 Pro with the Freewell wide angle lens, and the red barn is once again right in the centre of the screen. So have a look to the edges of the screen again and see how much more of a field of view do you have with the wide angle lens. I'll show you the anamorphic one as well in a minute, and then I'll put a side-to-side comparison up with the 3 different lenses, the anamorphic, the wide angle and the normal DJI lens. So here's a look at the anamorphic lens now. So this is now the Freewell anamorphic lens on the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Once again, the red barn is right in the centre. Have a look at what you can see at the edges. Now with the anamorphic lens you have to de-squeeze it. And it's quite a simple procedure to do. I'm going to show you now how to do it in Final Cut Pro, which is the editor of my own choice. Here's a side-by-side comparison now with the 3 different lenses. The standard one that comes with DJI Mini 3 Pro, the Freewell anamorphic lens and the Freewell wide angle lens. I hope you're quite interested in the Final Cut Pro footage here. I just thought I'd show you that rather than just show you an incomplete video. So you can see that there will be circumstances where you can use all of the lenses depending on what type of video it is that you're making. The anamorphic one, for example, gives a fantastic cinematic feel to it, and if you're using cinematic filters and the right shutter speed and things like that, and the right tone and the right colours, you could produce something that looks fairly cinematic. The wide angle gives you a much wider field of view, so you can actually see more of what's coming in round about you. And the standard lens that comes with it is fantastic for just everyday flying. But what about the weight? Does adding the wide angle lens from Freewheel or the anamorphic lens from Freewheel take the weight above 250 grams? And if it does so, it then changes the category of the drone and the conditions and the circumstances and how you can fly it. Well, here's a set of scales, and let's look at the drone without the lenses and then the drone with the lenses. In the next video, I'll be looking at the filters that come with this pack, and I'll be once again looking at the weights of the filters on top of the lenses to see if that takes over 250 grams. If you'd like to see a video that I made last summer about some of the Freewheel filters that I use quite often, that video there should take you straight to it. Right, there we go. Let me get rid of this and bring my handsome face back up. Hello, how you doing? Right. You may be thinking, and I think somebody just asked there, who it was Surly Dave. Surly Dave, is that what you say, Surly Dave? Where is it? Surly Dave says, I'd love to see you streaming, editing some of your footage and putting a video together. TVH, I don't know what TVH means, to very honest, I don't know. Right, two answers to that, Surly Dave. One is, I've done that. If you look way back on the channel, I have a video where I show you my Final Cut Pro editing process, and I put together a video, just a short one. Well, it's not a video, but I put together a couple of pieces of footage. I show you how to layer them and how to do that. So I actually have done that. And here's the second answer to your question is the reason that I showed you that. And in the way I showed you it is because I thought it would be more interesting than just showing you the full screen version of an unfinished video, one that I only threw down the basics today and I intend to edit. I thought it would be more interesting to show you the Final Cut Pro version. And the reason for that is because earlier this week, or last week, if you count Sunday as the first day of your week, it was last week. If you count Monday as the first day of your week, it was earlier this week, right? Did you follow that? But a few days ago, if you remember back to a month or two ago, I spoke about how I was thinking about starting tutoring and starting to do one-to-one sessions on how I set up to record, what equipment I use, how I use the equipment, drones, cameras, microphones, tripods, camera positioning, and then I was going to talk about how do some tutoring on how I take that footage into Final Cut Pro and create a video from all of that and all the different techniques I use and the different all the different methods that are available using Final Cut Pro. Well, I did my first tutoring session, and I don't know if my student is in the chat. If you know who you are, if you're in the chat, just say hello, give us a wee wave. But I had my first student last week, and I went out. This student lives fairly close to me, so we went out, and I did exactly that. I did that in person, said here's how I go about setting up, here's the filming process, all of the different parts of the filming, my narration, what I use, how I do it, how the drone footage, where I position it, how I position it in relation to the narration footage. And then once we had taken some footage, we then sat down with the computer and I went through the process of editing, and that was lesson one, and it was very successful. My student was delighted with the tutoring that they received, and I just thought I'd let you see that as a way of saying if anyone else is interested in that kind of tutoring, either one-to-one in person if you live not too far away, or via Zoom if you live far away, then email me. I will be setting up some kind of program. I don't know how to do that yet, but I will be setting up some kind of program that allows that to happen. But in the meantime, if you're really interested in that kind of one-to-one personal tutoring, if you're just a normal guy who's learned as he's going, then email me or message me on Facebook, but I prefer an email. You can get my email address at the bottom of each video in the video description, and we can talk about getting our heads together and giving you some tutoring. There'll be a wee fee attached to it as well. You know, my time is, my time comes with a wee fee attached to it, obviously. But if it's something you're interested in, let me know, and I don't know if my student is in and said hello. I didn't see anything coming up there. Maybe they're not here now. But anyway, right. So nearly 10 to. So I've got another quite a nice wee thing I want to show you. But before that, I want to have a look through your comments, because I don't do as much of that as I probably should, especially now that I'm not answering as many comments as I used to, because I just don't have the time. So let me have a look through your recent comments there. Oh, there's so many. I can't go back too far. Oh, Mark says here, Mark's still at the point where he owns more guitars than drones, but it's getting close. I still own more guitars than drones at the moment. I've only got 3 drones, so I have more guitars than drones. But I sold a guitar 2 weeks ago. I sold one of my guitars, and I sold an effects unit as well. Just, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I am starting to downscale, because I've kind of retired from music. I'm not gigging anymore. I actually turned down 3 gigs in the past week. I've been offered 3 gigs and I've turned them down. I'm just not fit for it at the moment, and I don't know if it ever will be again. Right, Magic, how future-proof are these DJI mini drones? They're fine up until 2026. Right, don't worry about it. You can fly as you fly at the moment in 2026 if you're in the UK. The bigger drones, like the Cine 3 or whatever, Cine Classic or whatever it's called, Mavic Classic 3 or Mavic 3 Classic, is now being shipped with the C marking, which means that come the end of the year, the 1st of January 2023, or the last day of December, you're going to be stunned, because things are going to change for you. Right. But Paul says you hate the rules. Listen, rules that don't make any sense. I cannot condone anyone ignoring the rules or defying the rules. But if rules don't make sense and we need to get changes in, the suffragettes would not have changed anything if they had not broken rules back when they wanted women to have the vote. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. And I also have to be careful about saying anything incriminating, because I'm quite sure you know as well as I do that these live streams are probably being monitored, as are all my videos. They're probably being recorded, and they may be gone through with a fine-tooth comb afterwards to find out if I have said anything that may incriminate myself in committing an offence. So I cannot condone anyone who breaks the rules, just like I cannot condone the suffragettes for breaking the rules and chaining themselves to fence posts. Right. 10-2, I need to move on. Oh, where's the time going? Where's the time going? What's this? Have you turned up on a location when you're flying? There's another 2 or 3 flying as well. Look around, you don't see anyone with a controller. When I was up, not this summer there, but the previous summer, when I went to the Harry Potter bridge, up at Glenfinnan, and I had Lassie, my wee drone there ready, and just as the train started to come round, there's about 20 drones appeared in there all at the same time. Zzz! And I thought, I'm not sending Lassie up, no way, because these guys are just flying all over the place. And so I kept Lassie grounded on that day. Still get some nice footage right enough. Right. Surly Dev says, I have a friend who flew his drone 1,700 metres from takeoff point. He knew where it was in relation to the ground because of the river and it being out over sea. Yeah, no. So harming no one, no danger to anyone or anything, but the police will chap your door, you know. Right. Nearly getting to it. I've got to rush on. Right, okay, I'm sorry if I'm going to skip past the comments. There's too many. I'm really sorry about that. I will read all of the chat tomorrow, and then I can go into this video. This live stream will turn into a video, and I can go in and make a lot of comments, answering some of the comments that I've missed here in the live chat. I have to apologise. An hour seems like an awful long time until you're actually in the middle of it, and then it turns out it's not. So what I want to do is I want to move on to the next wee agenda point. And what I thought I would do is, it's slightly interesting. I thought, as I said, the comments that I get have increased massively over the past 6 months, right? Massively, to a point where I can't even answer them all. And a lot of them are nasty trolling, horrible comments. And I'm not going to show you the worst of them because the worst of them are really offensive. I mean, racist, misogynistic, just horrible, horrible. I won't show you them. Now, they don't just appear bang on the channel. They go into a wee folder that YouTube puts aside and says, would you like to review these and would you like to release them onto the channel? And it gives me the option. Some of them I do release, but a lot of them I don't. I'm going to show you a selection now of some of the comments. Most 96% of the comment, 96%, sorry, of the comments that I get are positive and all really good. 2% of them are neutral and neither good nor bad, just people stating facts and whatever, are just calling it how they see it, which is fine. But 2% of them are quite nasty. And I'm just going to show you a wee random selection that I just copied and pasted just a load earlier on, right? Just half a dozen or so I copied and pasted just to show you. So I thought I'd show you some of the comments that when I'm going through the comments and reading them and answering them, these are some things that pop up and I say, oh my God, and I see some of these things. So let me drop the screen down and I'll show you some of these. Oh, but before I do that, I will just say to Graham, thanks very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And Caroline as well, thank you very much. You are distracting me and there's only 5 minutes to go. I'll get to it. So thanks very much for those super chats. And if anyone else fancies throwing a super chat in, I won't say no. Right, let me get to these trolling comments and show you them. Right, Caroline, I know you're going a minute, but you might be interested in this. Right, it's no there. Right, hold on. Let's go to the next one. Right, where are they? Okay, here we go. Michael says, you talk some shit, don't you? Always blame somebody else, never your fault, is it? Michael, I do. You're absolutely right. The first part of your sentence is correct. I do talk some shit. I don't always blame somebody else, though. Everything that I do, I take full blame for. It's my own fault, right? It's not anybody else's fault. So there you go. That was Michael. Richard Wine, what did he say? This guy's just trolling. Knew he'd be upsetting people and doesn't give a damn. Pathetic. Fired on somebody else and try to be a decent human being. Cheers, Richard. Okay, moving along. Who's this? Ashk03. I tried to translate this video, but no joy. Anyone else know what this retarded speak is? Right. Okay, let me bring my face up for a second. Right, that was in relation, I think, to the very, very short video, the Ranger one, where although we were speaking a mixture of English and Scots, because Scots is one of our 3 languages we speak here, we were speaking a mixture of English and Scots. I put subtitles up. I put subtitles up, and also there were CC, closed captions, as well available, but some people just like to troll. Right, anyway, moving on. So thanks very much for that, Ashk. Right, we've got now Me. Me says, I can hardly see that. Details are not a must at all, you knobhead. Okay, thank you very much, Me. I am a knobhead. Right, Edward Ryan says, shithouse auditor, give an ID when you have the right to remain silent at all times. I'm going to bring my face up for a minute, right? Okay, what's your name? Edward. Edward, the right to remain silent is something that you've seen watching too many Kojak TV shows, right? Or Starsky and Hutch or whatever it is you watch. I have the right to remain silent. Shut up. You don't have the right to remain silent in Scotland. You've got to do what they tell you. Okay, John, thanks very much for that super chat. There you go. Aye, that's it going. Right, we've got a couple of minutes to go. I'm going to keep going. So thanks for that super chat there. Let me bring up the next one of these wee trolley things. Right, so that was Edward, right. Oh, Edward's got another one. Well done, Edward. Windswept Robert, I get it. You're one of the 60 million dickheads in Britain that got the 7 COVID jabs. 7 COVID jabs? And you would comply or die against authority. That goes to show how many pussies there are in the UK. You know something? These troll, I actually love these trolling comments. I don't release them onto the channel because I'm not quite sure whether YouTube would bring the channel down or give me a do something to the channel because of all the swearing that's in it. So I don't put them all on, but some of them are really, really funny to read. Right, there's a couple more. Let me get to just a couple more. I'm nearly finished. So Edward got 2 there. Well done, Edward. Dave Pedgington says, Windswept Robert, you're boring. I bet no woman will touch your tiny pecker. Oh no, Dave! Please, would some woman touch my tiny pecker? So there you go. I know. I think there's a wee bit of what is it? What you call when someone's projection? I think there's a bit of projection going on there. Jim says get a Mavic 3 Classic. Thanks, Jim. I won't put your super chat towards that. I'll put it towards the repair of my car. The date's been pushed back for the parts to the 18th. Again, 18th of November the parts are due in, so it's been put back again. Right, I think it's got one more wee trolling thing to go, and I've got a couple of minutes left. So that was Dave. Right, here's Jacques Mertin. I do not know why this video is recommended to me. You have a lousy attitude and a clear lack of education. Even if you have the law on your side, there's still no reason to treat that ranger the way you did. So he's reflecting the views of a lot of people that I treated that ranger that reported me to the police for flying a drone over a log. I treated him really badly. Okay, right, I think there's one more and I've got about a minute left. Let me see, one more. Well, there you go. Ting Ting says, sad. Gareth, don't know what your second name is. You're an auditor. That's embarrassing. And then mine says, this is such an odd video. What are you making it for? For views and money, just like the auditors? You're begging people to share it. You are no better than an auditor. And Michael, here he goes. I think Michael was the first one. He's now this and all. You're a dick. And not only that, a dangerous dick who thinks all accidents are not his fault. Right, thanks very much for that, Michael. Thanks for calling me a dick and telling me that not only my dick, but my dangerous dick. So if you enjoyed those trolling comments, let me know and I'll do more of this, because I get hundreds every day. Got hundreds of those type of. So if you quite enjoyed them, let me know in the comments and I'll put some more in next week again. Thanks to everyone who gave me the super chats there. I really appreciate it. It's going to help me get this car when I finally get the parts for it. It's going to help me get repaired. Thanks very much for everyone that tuned in and for all your comments. And thank you for Mark again for moderating. You've probably done a marvellous job there, Mark. I don't know. I'll be producing hopefully 3 videos this week and I'll be back next Sunday. Thanks for joining me this week and I'll see you next week.